everybody down.
That's his job.
At the same time. But somebody got to stand up and do right, speak right, act right.
Now listen to this. Hold what you got. 1 Corinthians 14th chapter, verse 33. This is the devil tactics, but not God's. Exactly what you're saying. 1 Corinthians 14:33. When you got it, say amen. First Corinthians 14:33. Okay.
For God is not the author of confusion.
Did you hear that? God is not the author of confusion. There can only be two. So if he's not, then who is? The devil. Is the devil causing confusion in your life and everybody else's? If he start with you, don't you know he want to spread it? Underline that, highlight it. When confusion is in your life, you know the devil's working. Hello? When confusion's in our life, the devil is working. And he's good at that. How much confusion you got right now? Huh? Too much? You know who's working. You know who's working. So now that's the time to start resisting. What I'm going to do? Down on my knees. From my heart, right? Remember, it's not the position, it's the condition. The condition of your heart say, cry out to God. Your flesh say, do it your way. The more we do it our way, the more confusion we get. It's just the way it is. Huh? But God said, he's not the author of confusion, but what? Read on.
But of peace.
Of peace. Wait a minute. Say that again. Read it again.
Of peace.
Now read the whole thing again.
For God is not the author of confusion.
Okay.
But of peace.
So we can't say, God, why are you doing this? God ain't doing it. He permits it, but he ain't doing it. It's for our own good to learn from it.
There you go.
Hello?
Try and test it.
We got to be tried and tested. Every day. Every moment. Every hour. All right? But of peace, right?
And in all churches of the saints.
Uh-oh. As in where, Sister Mary? All churches are the saints. Wait a minute. What church are you in? Ain't you in one of all the churches? I'm in one of the churches of the saints. Uh-huh. Ain't we all? Yes. So who's going to be there? And who else going to be there? So the moment you decide that you're going to do the right thing, do the devil sit down and say, oh no. He started up. He got to start some ruckus. That's why.
The other saints standing around together, someone must hold their peace.
Yeah.
And let God prevail. It takes two to argue.
Right. That's correct.
Someone must hold their peace. It doesn't matter how you are falsely accused.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
The better person hold your peace.
Absolutely.
And we all are the better person sitting in this house.
Absolutely.
We are the better person. Hold your peace.
Right.
You don't have to hit somebody because they hit you.
Right.
You don't have to sound off with words because someone else is sounding off with words to you.
Yep.
Hold your peace.
Tit for tat.
The Bible,
it's
God
not
said,
God's way.
If I say I am, if I say I am, will you fall? Have the word back. It's a temper.
Yeah.
It's a temper.
Yeah.
And it's a destroying angel.
Yeah.
So this is why people lose their life.
Absolutely right.
Go ahead and say something back if you want to. Because they're going to
rat-a-tat-tat.
Because both tempers are flaring.
Right.
If they got a knife, a bat, whatever it is.
Right.
They both tempers are flaring. If not, they're going to use their fist.
Yep.
Because both tempers, both parties.
Oh, yeah.
I have them in the party. The temper is flaring. But somebody must be the bigger person.
Right.
Hold your peace.
Right. That's why it's important that we keep our focus. Naturally, spiritually so. You got to keep your focus wherever you at, because it's so easy to get off track. It's easy to let the devil be used in us. Now, let's go back to Daniel. Verse 8 of the 10th chapter. Read it.
Therefore, I was left alone and saw this great vision, and there remained no strength in me.
God got to leave us alone sometime where he can talk to us, where he can show us, help us, and try to get us to get some sense out of what we don't know, don't understand, can't do for ourselves. He's got to sap all the us out of us. Huh? When he saps all of the us out of you, how many of us know we got to get some of the mess out of us? We got a lot of mess, but it ain't nothing God can't handle. How much you want of God is how much God can give you. How much you want to focus on what you desire to do, even in the natural, how many of us put aside other things to focus? Huh? We push this person aside, that thing aside. We make time for what we want to focus on, right? How much more should we do it for the Lord? Huh? Some of us are focused on so much of the worldly things that God has put on the back burner. And we say, I got to talk to the Lord. But we never seem to make it to that point. I got to make some time to seek the Lord. But we never seem to get to that point. And guess what? One day time going to run out. One day time going to run out. You know, have you ever heard the story, children? I know you have, and grown-ups. The boy that cried wolf. How many of you heard that one before? So he cried wolf so many times that people began to ignore him, right? And then the time that the wolf was really there, what happened?
It was attacked and destroyed. Because no one paid you no attention.
It tore him up, shredded him up. How many of you remember Brother Moses? He was telling us, y'all remember this story he told us back in his country about the boy that kept crying about the lion or the tiger? Well, I forgot which one it was. It was a lion or tiger. Nevertheless, it was a wild animal here in Africa, true story. And he kept saying it, and everybody was saying, and they never was able to see it. And he was actually joking at the point. But when he really cried out this time, it was real. And it tore him up. You see, we can't play around with life. In a reality, the devil is like a roaring lion. He's trying to devour us, isn't he? Yes. Devour our life, devour our children, family, anything pertaining to God for sure, right? Yes. So Daniel was left alone. He saw this vision and he said there remained no, what? Strength in it?
Yes.
Go ahead.
For my comeliness was turned in me into corruption, and I restrained no strength.
In other words, I came to nothing. I just distraught. I was disturbed mentally, physically, spiritually. How many of us like that already? We disturbed. We just can't seem to get a hold of it. Grabs hold. We need to focus some more. How many of you remember taking the eye test? What do they do with that eye test when you're taking it?
They tell you what your strength.
Yeah. Yes. They tell you what eye is the weakest, if there is one. But what do? They got that little old lens, right? That little old machine. Click, 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 flip, 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 right? How many of you have got to the point that you was taking it and you had to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, I can't see.
Can I? They say, all right, take a break, go back, and then come back, right? Yeah. So, listen, it took time. They couldn't just run through it. They shouldn't have, right? To get your right prescription if you needed glasses, right? And to get the correct one, prescription, it takes what? Time. Am I right? Or surgery. But I mean, to even get it going, they had to start there at the basic, right? To find out where you weren't, correct? And once they got that, then they could go to the next level to get some correctiveness to it. That's what God is trying to do to us if we would sit still long enough. Some of us are too busy with everything but. And you are not going to get your next level focus. Why? Because you're not seeing what God's trying to do. You're not focusing. I'm not focusing. So how can I discern between the right and the unright in my very own life? I can see it in somebody else's, but I need to see it in me, right? It's about me now. How do I get me right? Not you right. All right? Yeah, we can help. But it's still up to the person. Right. I can give you glasses. Here, I'll give you mine if you can't see. I bet you won't see nothing then. Huh? Because they're not made for you unless your prescription is like mine. Right? And without mine, I could be called legally blind. Some of you got some real good vision. I got friends at work. The monitor is over there where you are, and they're across the room, and they can see what's on the monitor. Some of them, younger than us. Them side, age, Sure. Yeah, but the point I'm making is that they got good vision. Whereas me, I still got to do this, and I'm right there. Huh? Yeah, me. Yeah, it comes with age. But that's why they have to do this or whatever, right? To get us there. We got helpers somewhere along the way. We got helpers in the house of God that should be, not all are for helpers, but those that are helpers you'll see the results of growth from their help, right? Yes. God is helping Daniel. Listen what he says.
Verse 9.
Yes.
Yet heard I the voice of his words. And when I heard the voice of his words, then was I in a deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground.
In other words, he was in such a trance, meditative state that he had his focus on so much in humility and humbling himself to focus and hear from God. Shh. That's what we need. A little shh in our life, right? So much going on. This is going on. That's going on. This is going on. But we need to hear from this, right? This is the least thing we're listening to. Did you notice? We hear everything else. It's confusion. So much noise, sirens, boom boxes, boom, going down the street in the cars, horns, people laughing, crowds cheering, people arguing, gunshots. Where's room for God's word to be heard in all of that confused noise? Can you hear? Can you hear? So I got to take time to focus and get away from the noise. Get alone to God. Even if it's nothing but 5 minutes. That's enough to talk to God.